Hey Squirrel Army, how's it going? Today we've got Dawn Aris the Renegade, and how good I think it is.
You can join the Squirrel Army by subscribing.
Alright, so 4 mana, 1 in Grixis, so blue, black, and red. 4/3. Each creature you don't own gets +2/+2, has Menace and Death Touch, and is a pirate in addition to its other types. Okay, alright, sure. So we want to be Theft here, I think. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell you don't own, you create 2 tapped treasure tokens. So, again, yep, we want to be Theft here. This is definitely not a deck that I would build. And again, this is probably a commander that I wouldn't think that should really helm the deck of like a Theft deck. I think you want a commander that actually kind of does the thieving and stuff and things like that. There are a fair few things that do these Theft type things and whatnot, that sort of stuff. But still, it's one of those things that I don't really think that there's that many really real Grixis commanders that actually do a lot of this stuff like that much. There's a bunch of cards that kind of do it, but not that many commanders that come off the top of my brain. It does a lot of things that kind of those decks kind of want to do though, so I guess it could work as the commander of that deck, but I would want to be more proactive than what this is kind of being if you're kind of doing this thing. But then again, it feels really bad to be like, ha, my commander just steals commanders or what, or just steals cards or whatever. To me, at least, I don't know, that's just me, but whatever. I know people are horrible, so whatever, but still, it is the thing to be doing, apparently. I don't know. But still, it's just one of those things. I don't, like, it can give your stuff benefits when you're stealing stuff, but, like, I don't know. Like, I always find that these decks are really, really bad because, like, once your opponent doesn't have very good stuff to steal, you're just kind of going, oh, cool, you've got crap? Okay, well, I don't want to steal crap from you, steal anything from you, or whatever I steal from you, this is just garbage or whatever. So you get into those problems of being like, well, I'm reliant on stealing my opponent's stuff. And if they don't have anything worth stealing, or I don't steal the right things or whatever, then it's like not that amazing. So I always want my decks to be able to win on their own, not being like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna like I know people like that, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna get, but you still, like, if you're playing a 99 card deck, like, unless you've got a bunch of tutors, like, you're not gonna know what you're gonna get anyway. So, like, yes, you know it's in your deck to an extent, but you know these Theft cards are in your deck too, like, so I don't know, but still, I kind of get it, but I never do get the whole, like, ethos behind these decks. I don't really see the appeal. But that's just me, as I sort of say. But still, like, I think you don't want to just steal your opponent's stuff, not just because I don't like that strategy, but because it's a pretty bad strategy, as I've been trying to sort of explain, I guess, here, that, you know, like, if your engine is, I hope my opponents have good stuff, like, and you just hit lands, like, maybe you've stuffed your opponents up by hitting lands and they can't do anything because they haven't hit a land in a while or whatever, and all you've hit's lands, like, maybe you'll win the game that way by just, like, janking your opponents out of just stealing all their lands or whatever. I don't know. That has happened. It's happened to me quite a few times here and there. And things like that. But still, like, it's not exciting to be, like, stealing lands and things like that. So you've got to be able to be like, bribery or whatever. Steal their best thing. And, like, you've got to kind of know what your opponents are kind of playing and what their kind of strategy is, like, beforehand for the most part. And when you rock up to, like, a casual table or whatever, that's not going to happen very much. Like, you can kind of surmise what they might be doing, maybe. So you're always going to be gambling with what you're going to be able to get off of them. And there aren't that many bribery sort of effects. Not like there's none, but again, like, just one-off bribery isn't that good, I don't think. Like, you want to be doing more than that. I can't remember what the black enchantment creature is that steals everyone's bottom card of their library or whatever. There's a few of those effects out there that do that, but yeah, I don't know. Like you want persistent effects. I always say that as well. So yeah, this will be a nightmare of a deck for me to play against. Honestly, I do not want to play against this kind of stuff just because it's just like cool. You know, it's always playing against somebody who loves to play solitaire. You know, like I'm gonna play solitaire, except I'm gonna play solitaire with your stuff and not my stuff. Yep, cool, whatever. Cool story, bro. And that's again how you kind of get into trouble with playing against people and how you don't play against anyone ever again. So, or whatever, or certain people ever again. So, again, you've got to have this, like, already expectation that people are going to be fine with you just stealing their stuff, which most people aren't going to be for the most part, and then just whacking them with their stuff. So again, that's why, like, it has so many problems. Like, again, you want to protect this thing because it's going to be target probably number one because no one wants their stuff to be stolen, or whatever. And if they do get their stuff stolen, they don't want you getting extra benefits off of it. It seems like a really good card in the 99 or whatever, as I sort of was saying, but it doesn't seem like that good of a commander, as I sort of said, because it doesn't really initiate anything. It doesn't really give you the impetus that much or the control over what you're kind of doing. Like, so it could be good, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. These commanders that I don't particularly like, I can see the power level of them to a degree as well. You're very dependent on what your opponents are playing. And if one of your opponents has effectively a high power deck, then you probably want to just be targeting them the whole freaking game because the other two players are probably just playing some random jank decks or whatever or whatnot. So, like, there's no real point in going, oh, figure out, you know, stealing a random dice roll card or random attraction card from this person or random bear from this person or whatever else is there. It's like, oh, cool, this person's playing basically, you know, a lower power, you know, well, you know, a higher power deck or whatever, not a CDH deck, but a higher power deck. Then, well, cool, I'm going for them. They've got Ragavan and they've got stuff like that, so I'm just going to steal that stuff and just be like, bah. Plus, it's in my colors. So, like, it doesn't give you it does give you treasures. So, you can cast things that have colors that are outside of your color identity, but, like, it doesn't let you cast things that are of a color outside your color identity. So, you've got to be able to cast some stuff already to get those treasures, and they enter tap. So, then you've got to either find ways to untap them or to, again, you know, whatever, wait a turn or whatever to actually use them or whatnot, that sort of thing. And again, where is your own win condition? Like, you know, like that's the biggest thing that I always say with as I sort of said, with these sorts of decks. You can't just rely on your opponents having stuff or stealing stuff from your opponents. You've actually got to have ways to actually win on your own and not just be like, cool, I hope my opponent's playing stuff that I can steal or whatever, or hope I find my spell that steals stuff from my opponents. Because again, like, if this is the face commander, it's not really doing anything until you've stolen those things. And again, if your opponent's playing pretty much mediocre stuff, then, hey, well, you're getting very mediocre stuff. Yeah, you're giving it +2/+2 menace and death touch. So, yeah, I guess it does make those mediocre things a bit better. So, and most opponents aren't going to block something with two things and death touch, you know, like, so yeah, like, you'll get some damage through there, and if you cast non-creatures, of course you get those treasures. So certainly there is stuff to be had here, but yeah, I think, like, as I said, it's almost one of those things that there is certainly a lot more support for it now, but I really think that you want the commander to do almost all those things of stealing, so that you know, cool, I am gonna get stuff guaranteed, not like I have to find this, card in the 99. Yes, if you have a bunch of them, maybe you'll hit some of them, but still, you've got to play a whole bunch of other cards as well. And as I said, you've got to play other win conditions. You can't just rely on other people having stuff, because like their game plan might be to be like, cool, I'm going to exile my entire graveyard or my entire library, and then I'm going to do this other thing to bring it back into play or something, or whatever, blah, 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 whatever. Or I'm going to try to win with no deck or whatever. Like, that's my game plan, is to exile my deck and just, or get rid of my entire deck in some way. I'm going to play Leveler, and then I'm going to play Thassa's Oracle, and then I'm going to play Brainstorm or whatever. Like, that's my game plan or whatever. Like, okay, cool. Now what? That's their game plan. Yes, I can steal their Leveler, or I can steal, some of those pieces or whatever again, but, so actually, if you stole all three or whatever, or stole some semblance of that sort of style of thing, then you just win. But still, yeah, I don't know. You've got to really find ways to actually have your commander give you the things that you're trying to do, not just here's a payoff for hopefully what I'm gonna do. I don't know, because it's too hit and miss, not gonna do enough for you otherwise. But anyway, I think I've made that point clear enough now, and rambled on about it for long enough, so you guys can let me know your thoughts down there in the comments below, and hope you've enjoyed. Hope you will join me again in another one.